What's up, guys? This is Ringside Geeks. My name is Dave, and joining me, as always, is the entire group. I'll just say it right away, right off the bat. I will introduce them one by one, but now you know they're all here, and they're waiting silently for their introduction, which is a lovely change. First, we have the mouth that never stops talking, Tom.
Oh.
That was me? That was my tagline?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was going to be me.
I thought it was going to be
me.
What?
No. It was you, Tom.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Tom.
Also joining us is the king of keyboard strong style,
Oh, boy.
also known as Maeve Deltzer. His name is John.
The champ is here.
Oh, boy.
You guys like that?
No.
No?
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, I'll cut it.
Wow. Okay.
Restart it. Restart.
We'll get that in wrap.
Edit. Post it.
Also joining us is our current world champion. What do they call that thing? Stair climber, Monroe.
Oh, you did not go there.
I did.
Wow. Okay. It's fine. Whatever.
Everybody loves a good inside joke on a podcast.
Give her credit. She doesn't sound winded.
No.
Let me climb the stairs. You're going to have to come back to me in about 5 minutes. Okay.
All right.
The Stairmaster is known for blowing everybody up, so don't.
That's right.
It's all good.
Well, I didn't actually get on it. I tried.
No, I meant literal stairs, guys. Okay, fat guy. Ready? Go.
Okay. That derailed quickly.
We're off the rails.
Yeah. All right. So let's just dive into it. We got kind of a jam-packed show here with lots to talk about. The ending of the show should be a lot of fun. But let's talk about the bad. Battleground happened on Sunday this past week. And for the most part, it sucked. It was pretty boring, including that main event, that very hardcore Punjabi prison match. So let's do scorecard results very quickly. I'll start by saying, Dave, you did not win. That's a bummer for Dave.
Good job, Dave.
But here, I'll say the scores here, starting from worst to best: 81, 89, 93, 100. Out of 185.
It sounds good until you say that.
Prepare yourself, John, to promo our contest, because this is what you're up against, people. For SummerSlam. Okay, so Dave lost. He had 81. Coming in second place was Tom.
Yeah.
With 93 points. And our winner, with the century mark, 100, John.
Wow.
So Monroe had 89.
Where's my title
I was
belt?
gonna say, did I not even participate?
Where's my Funko Pop?
Good job,
Where's
John.
my damn bag of Doritos?
Oh, that's the one that matters.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Man, that sounds good.
And
Speaking of Doritos.
here's the ceremonial ripping up of the scorecard.
Speaking of Doritos.
Burn it.
We are running a little bit of a contest for all of our lovely listeners. As you all know, coming up is the WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view, and the fine folks over at PW Scorecards, that's at PW Scorecards on Twitter, they're going to be, I'm assuming, concocting a nice little scorecard for that event.
And NXT TakeOver.
And NXT TakeOver, but for, I think, just SummerSlam in particular.
Yes.
If you fill out a scorecard from PW Scorecards and submit it to us with a form of contact information so that we can get in touch with you before the pre-show on that Sunday, you have a chance to win yourself a Finn Balor Funko Pop of your choosing, be it the Demon Finn Balor or the regular Finn Balor.
Not the Chase.
Along with, and this is my personal favorite, I will buy you a giant mega-sized bag of Doritos. So, if you want that, remember, PW Scorecards, before that Sunday, submit it to us and let us know how to get in touch with you. and you have your chance to win.
There you go.
And as you can see, we're not that great at competition.
No, we
so.
suck. We suck.
It's pretty easy to win yourself a Funko Pop.
You could take a picture of it.
seriously.
Take a picture of it, send it to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't care. At Ringside Geeks for pretty much all of that stuff. So, again, we just need to know who you are. It needs to be submitted before the pre-show starts, not as
Social security number?
right. Blood type, maybe even a blood sample.
Right.
Tom will handle all of your urine samples.
All right, but this is the last time, okay?
So, we'll be hyping that up each week leading up to it. It seems pretty simple though. And yeah, so pretty easy way to win. And we just wanted to give the PW scorecards guys some hype. So there it is. All right, back to Battleground. Match of the night. Tom, what was your match of the night?
Wow. I would have to say AJ and Owens, even though it was kind of cut short from what it could have been. But those were the only two that I really thought went at it. I guess 1.5 to me would have been Sammy and Michael Bennett / Canaris.
Canellis?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. What about you, Monroe?
Either KO and AJ or the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and watched it, and it was pretty good.
Okay. All right, John?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the opener. I thought we might actually have a decent pay-per-view after that opener had ended. And, oh boy. Nope. Went way downhill after that one. But hey, credit to the Usos for putting in some really excellent work over the last couple months. It's funny because as soon as I start to like them as heels, it's like they take the titles off of them. And I get it that the New Day is the big money act, so you can't really dispute that from a business perspective. But I think the Usos, I think they proved that they have earned their positions, to say the least, and they earned that title run. So
From day one-ish.
And it's some day one-ish.
That's right.
Family.
Bam.
They're much better heels than they are faces, for sure. Yeah, I gotta go with the tag team match. That was the best match on the card to me. With KO and AJ, would have been the runaway if they had gotten the time, to do probably what they should have done.
And not such a kind of mind-boggling finish.
Just to pretty much reverse it on SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly.
With the addition,
Yeah, that was weird.
With the addition of Chris Jericho, but yeah. All right, well, let's go through real quick the letter grades. What letter grade would you give this pay-per-view, Tom?
F.
All right.
There was nothing. To me, there was nothing that I could find to save it.
All right, John.
F. Worst show of the year for me.
Wow. Monroe.
D for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I'll go D. I mean, I was bored through a lot of it, and you can see it in our live stream archive if you go to YouTube and check that out. But, it had at least 2 redeeming matches, so I can't give it an F.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll agree with you there. 2 redeeming matches, but if your big reveal is the Great Khali, I can't. That does not save the show for me.
Well, I mean, there doesn't need to be a big reveal. Him being there was, I don't know if it was meant to be that much of a shocker. But at the same time, the match itself stunk on ice.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Garbage fire.
D's all around. So, but you went from that to a fairly good SmackDown on Tuesday. I don't know what drugs they were taking Sunday, and then what they stopped taking for Tuesday, or vice versa. Whatever they're doing on Tuesday, let's kind of repeat that ad nauseum over and over and over.
I don't know if anybody paid attention. I actually tweeted out I was watching it. When the SmackDown Live main event is better than the entire pay-per-view card, you have creative problems.
Aside from the ending of the match.
I thought the match was great.
I really don't care for the swapping of the title over and over.
Oh, no. Yeah, we've talked about this before. It demeans the title to us where let's establish a champion. But I think, to me, from what I had read from dirt sheets, that something happened in that match. It was not supposed to end that way. That's why AJ apparently was very upset at Battleground in the ring. There was videos where it was not supposed to end that way. But it did. But I think SmackDown went back and somehow corrected it while also bringing Jericho into the mix, which, I'm always a fan of.
Right, which I'm fairly sure, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was a one-off appearance. I don't think he's...
It's possible.
I don't think he's back. Maybe for SummerSlam, but that's about it. It would be my guess. I don't know. Alright, let's move on to our week in WWE review. I have a little bit of news to talk about, but I'll wait till the end. But I'm going to kind of lean on Monroe here because I didn't get to watch a whole lot of it this week. Takeaways from Raw or SmackDown, Monroe?
Definitely from Raw. Not a terrible show. And I'm not going to spend too much to talk about because there's really not that much to talk about. Just a few things. Very good opening segment. I can listen to Joe talk all day, every day. He's amazing. I don't care about what they're doing with Finn Balor. I'm all for Bray Wyatt, but I'm over his appearances here and there. It's just, it happens too often and it's not special anymore, and I just don't care. And I don't care about Enzo or Cass. So whatever that
let's pause.
Storyline.
Yeah, let's pause for a second and talk about why that. I was at the gym and I didn't have the audio on. I was listening to music instead because I can't stand to listen to Enzo anymore. But it did have the captioning on this TV, and he rambled on about nothing for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And did dancing. He's added new dance steps to his repertoire that make him look ridiculous. He doesn't look like a funny guy anymore, like he's having a good time. He looks like a moron. And then they go to give this match with him, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and then they throw Big Show in for another 7 minutes of just a wash. It was pathetic. Let's move on.
Well, the worst part of it was when he threatens to break somebody's neck. I mean, seriously? I mean, you just beat him, and now I'm going to snap his neck. I wasn't serious before, but now I'm serious now.
That felt like a moment stolen from Game of Thrones, the episode the night before. Literally right from it.
I was not a fan of that moment. I understand, let's make this serious, but wasn't it serious when you beat his ass? But no, now I want to kill him. Now it's real. Oh, well, wow. Okay. All right.
It's just so obvious that this shouldn't be happening. This split shouldn't be happening, and no one cares that it is. And they're trying to make you care by having Enzo talk and give his heartfelt promos every Monday, but no one cares. And it's because they didn't do anything special enough for us to care.
Yeah, they didn't give them...
As a tag team.
Right, they did not give them a run at all.
No, at all. They did nothing, so why should we care?
They had the heat to do it, too. They were so over. It didn't make any sense, and that kind of leads into my news I have for the end of it. But all right, continue with your Raw stuff.
Not like I said, not very much more to talk about. Poor Emma is really all I'm going to say about that. It's just whatever.
A glimmer of hope there when she had her little segment with Kurt Angle. I'm like, oh, all right, now she's getting involved.
Yeah, right. Then she got squashed.
Yeah.
Although it was a nice squash with Nia doing the flippy thing.
Nice. That was a nice flip.
Yeah, I like the flippy thing.
The flippy thing.
Jason Jordan had his debut. He has a good finisher. Didn't really care too much about that. It's just another loss for what's his face. I can't even think of his name. That's so much. It does not matter.
Axel.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hawkins.
And the main event was a fun main event too. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about was the Bayley versus Sasha match, and you guys knew this was coming.
I did.
But those girls have such great chemistry. It's ridiculous, and it's clear as day, and they work the best with each other. And this match was obviously not one of those matches that was for like a big show, so they kind of toned it down a little bit, similar to KO and AJ. But man, was it a good match from beginning to end. They did such a good job. Definitely a must see if you haven't seen it. But the only thing I was disappointed about with that match had nothing to do with the actual match. Alexa was on commentary during this match.
Yeah.
And I know, we all know Alexa is a talker, and she's a good talker.
If you're gonna,
for some reason, she was on commentary during this match, and she was damn near silent.
Yeah, if you're gonna praise her for anything, it's gonna be that she can talk.
Yeah.
And she's good at it. She's real good at it. And for the life of me, I went and rewatched it because, again, I didn't have audio when it was on. She didn't talk.
She didn't talk.
I didn't
she didn't
understand
say barely anything.
And I don't get it. I don't think that was her call. I can't imagine it was.
I don't know. When she was talking, like, she said a few things, she appeared to be, like, nervous, or maybe she stumbled a little bit, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was them telling her, hey, don't say anything, let the commentators commentate, or get out there and say something, and she froze. I don't know which one it was. Could be both. I don't know. But for her character and for her, that was the perfect opportunity for her to just talk smack about Sasha, Bayley, that match, everything. She should have nonstop been talking up there on commentary. She didn't say anything, and that was very disappointing.
Do you think maybe this was a case of, yes, she is a great talker, but at the same time, as you said, two of the best workers in the ring. A lot of times commentators can overtalk a great match. Do you think maybe they told her less is more, let the girls do what they do?
No, because commentary was still all over it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see this. I didn't see the match. I watched like the highlights of it, but
I mean,
we know they can flat out go. We've seen it so many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, with her character, she should have been talking a whole lot of smack, and she wasn't. They gave her opportunities like Alexa, this and that. They didn't really ask her that many questions. They were focusing on the match, to be fair to her. But they were like, we have Alexa Bliss, women's champion, here on commentary, and she would just give a look, and that was it. She didn't say a word. I'm like, what is going on? It was just weird. I just thought it was weird. But yeah, that's it for Raw. Really.
I'll say one thing for Raw. I really enjoyed the fact that the club came down to challenge the Revival. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed everything until the Hardys showed up. Ruined everything. Because I was like, oh, what is this? A face turn for the club? And then they called them nerds, and I don't care. It was awesome. The promo was great. The match was started off fantastic. And then the Hardys came down. And, of course, who fell prey to the Hardys? The club.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And I'm sorry. Love the whole deletion crap and the broken thing and whatever you want. Since they got here, look at the chaos they've caused in the tag team division. Not their fault, booking's fault, but, I mean, it's because of them. You have to assume that Enzo and Cass are broken up. There's just not enough room for another face tag team.
Yeah.
And that's why New Day is on SmackDown, potentially. It could be also because they wanted to shake it up a little bit, but I don't know.
Aren't they the only face tag team on Raw?
Rhino and Heath.
Aren't they the only face tag team on Raw?
Rhino and Heath are a face tag team. You can joke about it all you want, but they are.
All right.
But there's plenty of room for Enzo and Cass to be the third one.
I said on Raw, not main event.
What are you talking about? Heath Slater's on pay-per-views.
Well, yeah. While everything's going on backstage.
Yeah, well. All right. Anything else from SmackDown that we haven't talked about that you want to discuss?
Not very much. Surprised to see Jericho. I did not expect that. I thought they made a mistake and play this music. I'm like, whoops, somebody's getting fired. I did not expect.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm trying to be positive, and I've been criticized for being too positive apparently, but
really,
actually someone said that, which is funny to me because I'm always negative about everything. But anyway, can we just take Tamina and Lana out of the ring forever? I think that would benefit everybody because they're terrible.
I don't think I'd have a problem with that.
And I was an advocate for Tamina for a while. Like, give her a chance. Yeah, she has bad knees. Give her a chance. No more chances, please. Yeah. No, done. My mind has changed. Let it go. They are terrible, both of them. They're not good at all.
That match was a botch fest. I mean, there were so many botches.
and it had Charlotte and Becky. If
Charlotte
Charlotte and Becky, give up.
They caused them to botch stuff, and that's what I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. Also, we all saw it coming with Cena gonna fight Jinder Mahal for the title. I just wish it wasn't him. I mean, that's really all I can say about that. It's like, you again. Okay. Same old stuff. And he actually got up and said Super Cena. I hate when they do this stuff like that. Oh, it's so annoying.
He made fun of himself. He's like, this is what's going to happen. This, then this. Cue the trumpets. We're done.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Way to get real meta.
It's insulting, though. Because
yeah, it is.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Because we already know what to expect.
Exactly.
I actually took to Twitter because I thought that JBL was dead on when he said that I've seen a lot of people win the world title, but I've never seen people grow into the title. And I agreed with him. Jinder, to me, has grown into the world title. He's a believable heel. He does a great look. I love his so monotone promos. Just kind of, I think it's cool.
No, you better be ready to lose to the 17-time champion.
And we knew it was coming.
Yep.
And more than likely, he's just going to win it for the 17th time, and then Corbin is going to cash in, like probably immediately after.
And now you guys will love Baron Corbin.
No. I'll burn the place down. I will burn the Barclays Center down.
If he takes the title from Cena, you'll burn it down. Really?
Yes.
You would rather suffer through another Cena title reign?
Yes.
How about just put it back on AJ? I'm fine with that.
All of the above. Anyway. Calm down, Tom. I know you were in love with Baron Corbin.
No, but I tell you what, I'll take 6 Baron Corbins over a John Cena right now. I can't believe you guys wouldn't.
I don't want either one, me personally.
Well, you have to take a choice.
I'd kill myself.
Oh, Super Cena or Corbin. I mean, we've seen this show before.
Charlotte is unavailable. I gotta choose between those two.
Maybe Tamina should win the world championship.
Oh man, it's just going from bad to worse.
Lana?
But no, the other any other notes really from SmackDown just involve. I like how the Usos interrupted a New Day during their entrance. Finally, someone did that because it's so long with Big E with they attacked him.
Like, did they attack him? Cause I didn't watch SmackDown. I watched like the YouTube stuff. Did they attack him at Gorilla?
Backstage, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's great.
That was nice. Yeah, I like it too.
Because the screen lit up, but then nobody came out, and all of a sudden, here comes Xavier and Kofi thrown out while the Usos are beating them down. And Big E comes out a little bit later, strapped down, already beat up.
That's perfect.
That's great. I thought it was.
I'm sorry. Like I said, man, they booked a good SmackDown. That makes the Usos look real good, like John was saying.
But I was disappointed. No Breezango. No.
Nothing with
Where is Fandango? Who took him?
No, who took Breeze? I thought Breeze was missing.
No, it was Fandango that they pulled out of the camera shot on.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Very Aliens style, or
yeah, whoever it was.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
That's about it, really, for SmackDown. We already touched on the AJ Styles title change thing.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
NXT I did watch last night. I enjoyed it. It was a filler episode for sure. A lot of squashes.
Yeah.
But one really good promo by Drew McIntyre. I thought it was kind of his first time, other than that first original promo he did when he got here, when he was talking crap about Raw or SmackDown, saying he wanted to come to NXT. But he cut a good promo that went right up against not just Bobby Roode, saying this is our NXT, but he also made some comments that were kind of going at entitlement towards Roddy. If you kind of were paying attention, so I'm kind of leaning on either Summer or at the Takeover Brooklyn might be a 3-way, or they're leaning towards a 3-way, or at least planting the seeds for Roddy and McIntyre feud. Which whatever, those guys can go, but I was impressed with McIntyre. His promo was really good, I thought.
It was a really good promo, and I'm hoping they don't forget about Roddy. I mean, they seem to want to push Drew to this position, but let's not forget Roddy. Roddy's doing great work.
They did mention him earlier in the night, saying in a tweet that he's not done with Rude yet. Like it's not over. So they mentioned him in the broadcast.
So I'm with you. I kind of think it's going to go a 3-way.
We'll see. All right. The one piece of news I saw today is, according to the One Wrestling Observer newsletter, WON, there's a potential for another superstar shakeup after SummerSlam, which would be, the scheduled time for it. The possibility of sending names down to NXT is in the cards. Quote, people who were major stars in NXT that Vince simply isn't going to push even if they are over, or people who are doing nothing on the main roster with the idea they could be more useful as major players on NXT. So yeah, Enzo.
Wow, that sounds like Finn Balor to me, actually.
I don't see Finn Balor doing it. No, not with the whole club thing. The Balor Club.
I see Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't see Sami because I think I'm now leaning into what we talked about at Battleground. I'm leaning into a Sami Zayn world title. I think it's going to come because I want to see it now. At the times he's underdog through these matches, I really want to see it. So
that's years away.
I don't want to send Sami
That's
down.
years away, Tom. That's not anywhere near the future.
But you don't send him down. You let him still be this underdog right now.
Well, that's part of the story if he gets sent down, Tom. Like, I got rejected once.
But then, I mean, what are you going to do for your roster? You send good guys like that down?
Tom, what are they doing? What are they doing? Like? What are they doing with the good guys right now?
What are they doing with anybody right now? Raw is just booked around Roman, Brock.
Your question to my question makes no sense because you're asking me what are you asked, what are they going to do with good guys right now? They're not doing anything with them. What is a guy like Ty Dillinger doing? He's just treading water.
Okay.
The fashion police treading water.
We know going into SummerSlam the Jinder Mahal push is done. You can call it now.
Right. We all know that for sure.
So now there's going to be fresh opponents coming up for Cena. And maybe a Sami Zayn is that guy.
No. I don't see it. I don't think they have that ready for him yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong.
You've got to, as much as I like the push for the U.S. title to make it relevant, you have to take it off AJ and Kevin because those are main event talent. Those are world
here's
title.
Here's an idea. What if Shinsuke beats Cena and then Corbin cashes in on Shinsuke after he wins his first world title? Talk about heat.
Yeah.
And that fits into their feud.
Exactly.
No.
Why not go that way? Well, no, I mean, I'm not saying I would like
better
it,
than Cena.
But
Shinsuke's not ready for the world title either. Let's be honest.
Why?
I disagree there.
Why? I mean, he's been there for how long? You think he's ready to go for the world title, but Corbin's not?
Yes.
Well, I think they kind of butchered his booking so far. He should have came in and kind of been like a big attraction.
Yes.
And that's kind of why I feel like a lot of people don't feel he's ready, is because they didn't book him like he was a big-time player. And if he would have been booked like he was a big-time player, he could have showcased his abilities and been ready for that main event spot by SummerSlam.
There you go.
But instead, he's just kind of played like a background role.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's kind of iffy now. And I see what you mean. I definitely see what you mean.
Right, but Shinsuke Nakamura is not Baron Corbin. He's not Ty Dillinger. He's not the Revival. He's built for the main event. He's built to be the face of your company. He's not. He's a Rock style character, not in the way he's probably not going to take over the company like the Rock did. But if they let him, he should be selling the most merchandise.
I agree with that.
And that's very possible, just like Finn Balor in the same vein.
Right. And AJ. These guys are made for the main event. It is not too soon for Shinsuke. Just look at his first appearance on SmackDown. The way the crowd reacted. He's main event caliber, whether they're book him that way or not, but he's ready for it for sure. He's not, he's a different class than Baron, Ty, or any of the other NXT call-ups who we normally would say, yeah, it's way too soon. And, it usually is way too soon
But, the NXT call-ups, to me, there's only been 4 that are main event quality, and that is Finn, Joe, Shinsuke, and Sammy.
Right. So, yeah, I don't
But they're not even booking Sammy as main event yet. I think it's going to, well, I forgot Owens, but yeah, that's what it was.
Well, 2 of those 4 you listed have run with the Universal, and then one of them has been a WWE champion. So 3 of those 4 have been the champion of that brand.
But I don't think going with the initial conversation, you send people back down to NXT, that doesn't do like a Sammy any good at all to me.
Well, again, if you're building it that story of the underdog, that's just adding to it. That's all that's doing. So I could totally see that.
I disagree with that.
I could totally see them doing that.
That's a step down, if you ask me. If you send him back to NXT,
again, this is the storyline they would be.
I think it's a step up because I'm tired of him not getting the chance to really showcase what he does best, and that's wrestle on the main roster. And that's the same with a lot of these guys.
Right. The effect of
NXT allows them the creative freedom, and I just don't think that they're going to get that creative freedom on the main roster.
The effective way of you got to start to move the Cenas, the Ortons. You got to move them out of the way.
They're not going.
They're not going to. You know who's in charge.
Fighting a war we're not going to win here.
Right.
I mean, Vince McMahon has been in control for how long now? He ain't going anywhere.
Right.
And his mindset, his ideology is not going anywhere.
I think that's
the tough part.
Ideally, if they're going to do this NXT thing, and you're talking about always making Sami Zayn this underdog, even though he's on a winning streak, he beat Mike Kanellis, which was a shocker. I thought for sure you bring in Kanellis, he's going to start winning right away, of course. But Sammy won. But if you're going to make him this underdog, and you really want to book him as this dream story of achieving the unachievable, like to keep pulling it further and further away from him, I think you add to that narrative by sending him down to NXT, and that's thinking in their lines of booking, not my dream booking for Sami Zayn.
Right.
But if that's what they're thinking, and we could be way off the mark here, but they always keep talking about how he's the underdog from the underground, and I think that's a good storyline for him to always just be one step away and not getting it, and then finally getting it. It's such a huge moment, you know. I would do it without dropping him down to NXT, of course, but if they're gonna if they're seeing it that way, I totally see him being part of that. You know, I don't know. It's all figurative, and we're all just throwing darts at a blank slate dartboard thing here. What an analogy.
Well, let me ask: brilliant. Do you still do you still look at NXT as developmental?
No, it's its own brand.
Personally, no way. To me, NXT, to me, it's more WWE indie. Is what it is to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why I see it that way.
I see the Performance Center.
And that's why if Sami Zayn goes there and he's at the top of the mountain there.
Yeah.
To me, that's almost as important as being WWE champion or Universal champion.
It's not though.
Monroe.
I don't know. They make a lot of money. They sell a lot of merch.
It's not
personally, I do not feel it. NXT is what it is, and I don't think it's. I think your main event guys, the guys you know about, are the reason you know, hey, these guys are going to come up. But I watch it for some of those, like, okay, here's these guys coming in. Let's see what they're going to do with them. There's some
still developmental. That's why.
Developmental. I agree with you. There's some like that should have, to me, in my opinion, could have gone straight. I've watched TNA and I love Bobby Roode. I thought Bobby Roode could have been main event right away, but I love what they've done with him to now make him ready.
Well, and I also think if you bring somebody like Sami Zayn down, since he's the topic of conversation right now, what better way to develop someone than to have them come in and challenge Sami Zayn, who's already had main roster experience and then would be a 2-time NXT champion, and beat him for the title.
So then what do you do with
that's a good way
Roode?
to get somebody like, I don't know, Adam Cole, who no one's really familiar with, on the main roster. I mean, a lot of fans are starting to transition over. You get some eyes on Adam Cole.
So you bring Sami Zayn down to take the title from Bobby Roode. What do you do with Bobby Roode then? Do you take him up? That doesn't sound like he's ready because he lost the title.
They always lose the title, Tom, before they get called up.
If Sammy wasn't ready, is Bobby ready?
That's not the point. That's not the point. No.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work because Sammy was already there. For him to be already there and then to come up and then to go back, how is that not a step back?
But that's the thought process that they apparently have for several guys coming up this shakeup.
I totally understand. That's their thought process. That it's not. We're not arguing amongst each other. We're arguing amongst their theory.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But I don't see the theory working. I think Monroe and I are on the same page. It's just for Sammy, it's a definite step back.
See, I guess I agree with John because I could care less. I prefer the NXT product. I think they would flourish more there. Granted, you want to see them on the main roster because then they get more TV time, but they don't. They should.
That's the thing.
But how many times
nailed it right on the head.
How many times have we said the NXT product has been better?
Always.
Yeah, we can all
always.
Every takeover is better.
Not even takeover. Every weekly event, aside from the one right after the takeover, is usually better product than what they put out for 3 hours on Monday and 2 hours plus another extra hour of 205 Live. Lately, 205 Live has gone downhill, sadly. Although there was a good tag team match this week.
Yeah, it was.
But this is where they need to figure out with the roster. I don't necessarily agree with the up and down, or definitely not the back down. But you've got to realize that these guys are draws, but a lot of these younger guys that people do watch NXT do want to see these guys get time.
That's right.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Vince has got to pop his head out of his ass and say, hey, these guys were big on them in NXT. There's a reason we brought them up. And it's going to have to be Triple H smacking him in the head and say, hey, these are the guys I built.
No. All right, let's move on. Let's talk New Japan. The G1 Climax 27 is going on right now. And this is where I hand things over to John to tell us what's been going on. Give us an update.
Sweet. So, has anyone else on the panel watched any of the G1 this year?
Yes.
Regrettably, no.
No? Well, okay. So, preface this whole thing by saying, you guys know from listening and discussing New Japan with me in the past that I'm critical of New Japan at times, especially like Kenny Omega matches and the ones that get the critical acclaim. And I don't just hand out like a lot of praise, but I'll be damned if the first 2 weeks of the G1 Climax have not been the two best weeks of professional wrestling that I've ever seen in my life. And I don't want to butter anybody's biscuits and try and act like, I'm trying to sell you something, but to me, New Japan is just knocking it out of the ballpark right now. The last night, that was just this morning, it was night 8, was probably one of, if not the best show of the entire tournament thus far, headlined by Kenny Omega versus Michael Elgin, in which, spoiler alert, Elgin got his first major victory in the tournament, and Omega took his first loss, which puts Kazuchika Okada undefeated and atop of the B block. So basically the major stories coming out of the G1 after 2 weeks are the three-way tie between Naito, Zack Sabre Jr., and Hiroshi Tanahashi in the A block. And then B block, you have Okada undefeated up at the top. And I guess the story is, who is going to be the first challenger to pin the champion. There's a lot of intriguing matches coming up. You've got Evil. You've got Juice. Evil scored a big win over Minoru Suzuki the other night. Minoru Suzuki still has to face Okada. So there are a lot of opportunities for the chinks to start to show in Kazuchika Okada's armor. So that's one. Those are some of the stories we're looking for coming out of the first couple weeks. Also, Yuji Nagata and Satoshi Kojima both are still looking for their first victories. As I mentioned previously, this is Nagata's first G1. So I'd look for him to be playing a major spoiler role in the A block later on. You want to talk some standout performers. Obviously Kenny Omega for his performances. You got to go watch the match with Suzuki and you got to go watch the match with Elgin, you guys. Those two matches are just awesome, off the charts. And like I said, I've been very critical of Omega in the past. These two matches are top tier, next level matches. And again, I brought it up last week. I'm going to bring it up again this week. The fact that they keep these matches under 30 minutes, I think that's what I really enjoy about it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So also Michael Elgin. Got to give a shout out to Big Mike. I mean, he's had two of the other best matches in this tournament. One against Omega, one against Okada. You've got Okada, who has faced Kazuchika Okada. Had this match against Satoshi Kojima, who is one half of Kojima and Tenzan. One of the most historic tag teams in New Japan. Two legends. Mm-hmm. And he went in there just this morning, had this match against Okada. Freaking one of the best matches of the entire tournament. Okada played a heel almost. And it was so cool to see him playing that role because he does it so well. And it made me think, man, if he ever wanted to turn, he could do it. Okada would make an excellent, excellent cocky heel. And I actually designed a heel stable around him, which we'll discuss later. But, yeah, you got, Tomohiro Ishii, Kota Ibushi, Evil, Juice Robinson, Zack Sabre Jr. All these guys are stepping up their game and having career-defining performances in the G1. I've watched New Japan now for about a year, and this, so I don't really know much about the history, but I would not be shocked if people started calling this the best G1 climax ever, because the performances in the ring have been astonishing. And I can't wait to see where they take us next. 2 more weeks left. Some big matches to look forward to over the next week. You got Ishii and Naito on Saturday, Omega and Kojima, and Okada and Juice on Sunday. You got Nagata and Ishii, and then Goto and Naito on Tuesday. Then you've got Omega and Evil, and also Kojima and Suzuki on Thursday. And, these cards are loaded. Next Saturday's card is mind-blowing. I can't wait not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're going to have to cover that one. That one's just going to be out of this world. So lots to look forward to in the G1, and, stay tuned. We'll keep breaking it down week by week, and you guys definitely need to go check it out so you can witness what I'm talking about, because it's good stuff. I would not steer you in the wrong direction. I promise.
There you go. Maybe we can entice John or Monroe to do a short, one of our mini episodes based on what's going on.
Yeah, definitely, man. All
right. So let's move into one of my favorite parts of the show when we talk about our favorites of historic wrestling lore, and one of my favorite parts of wrestling, and that is the faction/stable. Not something that gets done too much in WWE anymore. It was prevalent during the Attitude Era. WCW did quite a bit of it. ECW had their share of it. New Japan thrives with it. Tons of factions within New Japan. But we're going to talk about our favorite stables. We're going to talk about what constitutes an actual stable. And then we're going to dream book some stables. That should be fun. So let's start to you. What is the definition of a stable, Tom?
Stable is a group of individuals that have come together for a common goal, whether it be dominance, titles, or exposure.
How many members would you say constitutes a stable?
It's tough because I've seen them range from 3 to almost 20.
Right.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think 3 or more would be the proper.
Yeah.
For me, a proper stable, and that's it's not taking anything away from guys like the New Day and the Shield and even the Four Horsemen, but I want a person for every title in the stable. Like if they're in a company, there needs to be somebody for each title so that they can then dominate the entire roster. But it doesn't work out that way usually. That's just, I guess, me in a dream. But everybody else kind of agree with Tom's definitions?
For sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's just run through a couple favorites. We'll do round table style. I'm going to start with Monroe because I know she's got her list of Monroe. And,
you know it.
And
get in, man.
Why don't you rattle off a couple, just one or two, for your favorites?
Okay. I have the Ministry of Darkness.
Yes, not the
'90s.
corporate ministry.
Not corporate ministry, just
Yeah.
the ministry.
That-
My favorite, probably my favorite incarnation of The Undertaker for sure.
Yes.
And I love that theme too.
A great theme.
Also,
I loved when they would just abduct people and then they were members of the ministry. I loved it.
yes, it's amazing. I have Evolution. Did a lot
Really?
for Batista and Randy Orton. Yeah, I like them a lot.
Okay.
I
Even-
love Ric Flair. He can do no wrong in my book anyway. And he just solidified that group for me. And yeah, it was just, I did a good job, I thought. And the theme, again, great theme. But probably the one I'm going to focus on right now until it's my turn again is DX. I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan growing up. He's the reason why I started watching wrestling. I sound like Sasha talking about Eddie Guerrero, huh? But DX, I love those guys so much. I thought they were the funniest thing in the world. My mom hated it.
Are you talking?
The fact that I liked them.
Are you talking the original?
The first of the original.
Okay.
The original, yeah. I got in trouble for school for telling my teachers to suck it.
Oh.
All of the above. I kid you not.
I got in trouble for wearing a DX shirt at school once.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't have the shirt, but I did know how to do the chops, man.
Oh, yeah, we did that. We did that a lot in gym class.
Do you have a favorite DX moment?
Yes, it was and I always joked and said this is my favorite match of all time, and it's a European title match between Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Do you guys remember that match?
Yeah.
It was amazing because they had it built up like, oh my God, these two friends are about to fight each other. And then they get in the ring and it was a finger poke, boom. Shawn Michaels goes down. Triple H just runs the ropes. I mean, he's just running and running and running back and forth and back and forth. And then he's just, boom, splash. And that was it. 1, 2, 3. And they both got up like, oh, Shawn was like, oh, I can't believe I lost. And Triple H, I did it, Mama, I did it. It was amazing. Amazing. So yeah, DX, man.
What was your second one?
I said the Ministry and Evolution.
Evolution.
And then,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Good moment. Awesome list so far. All right, Tom, what do you got? Actually, I'm going to put a pin on you because I did talk to you already. Let's go to John first.
All right.
Oh, okay. When it comes to DX, my favorite moment is...
Oh, we all got one. Yeah, we all should think of one because DX has to be on all of our lists.
I just have to put the spotlight on when they impersonated the Nation of Domination.
Oh, yes. Right out of my head. Oh, that's my favorite.
I mean, that was
I laughed so hard.
Genius. Right there.
Oh, some of the worst work by X-Pac, but still awesome.
I just saw X-Pac coming out rubbing his tummy and stuff, man. That shit was amazing.
I cannot watch that right now without crying, laughing. I cannot watch it without. Oh, so.
I want the theme like those were the days. That's good television. And I've heard people who Edge and Christian, I think, recently on their podcast said, for as much glory as the Attitude Era gets, look back and watch how much wrestling is actually done because there was not a lot. So,
no.
it's like we glorify it, but not a lot of it was great.
No.
The truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
And they lived it, so they know.
So, favorite stables, huh? I think my favorite stable of all time was the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
For very obvious reasons. I think they basically started the Monday Night Wars. And to me, just growing up, because we watched so much more WCW than WWF in my house, I always remember hating the NWO. And I just, the black and white was
you bought
iconic,
into it?
those shirts, everything. That was marketing genius. Putting Hogan at the top, I mean, it rejuvenated Hogan's career. There were so many positives that came of the NWO.
Wait.
And I mean, yes, there also were many negatives. But, if we're just looking at, the great impact that they had, it's just, unmistakable.
What did it do for Hogan's career?
It rejuvenated his career.
You hear that, John Cena? You hear it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, Dave. But
I don't think it's going to happen.
If it did, man, think of the moment, man. Just think of the moment. I would
They said
mark
that about
out.
Hogan, right?
So
And
many-
it never happened?
They've had so many opportunities, and that's actually a good segue because I'm going to mention a faction that not many people will probably mention, and that's the Nexus.
I was going to mention them.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were on my list too.
I really enjoyed the Nexus. I really believed in the Nexus. And back in that time, and that was when I was like anti-Cena. I'm really not that anti-Cena anymore.
Baby Mason Ryan.
Back then, I was
Why not?
hating that mother lover.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I don't know, man. I thought that was the moment. I thought he was going to turn and join the Nexus for sure. And they never pulled the trigger. But
it was great?
regardless, that was the launch pad for a lot of guys' careers.
Yeah. Justin Gabriel, look at him go.
Yeah, right. Jeez, Martin the wind.
But he was good, man. They missed it on him.
He was good. Well, I was a huge
well
Wade
on
Barrett
the
fan.
80s.
Yeah.
And that's not something you're going to hear from a lot of people, but I was
Wade
a
Barrett?
big Wade Barrett fan.
Yeah.
And
So
I
is
wish they had
Alicia
pushed him more.
Fox.
Let me turn this elbow pad inside out and make it hurt.
Without taking it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hated that guy.
What else came from the Nexus? A spilled Diet Coke in a moment that'll live forever.
True story.
True story.
I don't get it.
You shouldn't. We'll just move on.
Okay.
You wouldn't.
You won't like it if I did explain it to you.
Well, if you,
There was a leader, though,
right?
of the Nexus who was a pretty good. He was pretty good.
He
He wasn't great. He
Yeah,
was pretty good.
yeah. He did take over and brought them to new heights.
Yeah, absolutely.
We talking about Wade Barrett again?
That was
No.
the summer of I forget what they call it, but yeah,
Some musical genre.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, some overrated pay-per-view.
Wow.
moment, I think.
Wow.
I think she got it.
All right,
We were laying it on pretty thick.
And then I want to mention one more stable from that time period, actually, strangely enough, that I wish they had done more with, and that was the Legacy. I was a big fan of Randy Orton, Cody, and Ted DiBiase Jr. I like that a lot. I wish Ted had stuck around for longer and been able to accomplish more. Same with Cody. And the problem was they got to WrestleMania 26, and again, Randy got to do his thing and bury the younger guys. Should have never happened. But, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, yeah. Great theme, too. I love that theme.
Oh, yeah.
All about the theme. I like it. All right, before we go to Tom, well, actually, no, we'll go to Tom first. Then I got some also-ran mentions that I know you guys won't, I assume you won't mention that I'll bring up. But go ahead, Tom.
Well, I'm going to go old school. And Dave said, I like a stable that takes all the titles. 4 Horsemen, baby.
Oh, man,
the
yes.
original.
Throw it up.
I'm gonna start with the original.
Scratch that off my list.
It starts with Ric Flair,
The man.
Ole Anderson, Arn
Yes.
Anderson, and
Yes.
Tully Blanchard.
That's right.
That is the original 4. World
Yes.
champion, tag team champion, TV champion. Love it. What they did, you bring these 4 guys together for a common goal, and don't forget J.J. Dillon. J.J. Dillon was very huge in that stable, too.
Very true.
You bring these 4 guys together, they are the best in the world, and they show it. That's what they did, and they dominated. They broke Dusty Rhodes' arm every other week. This is what they did because they were going to show their dominance. And then the group was able to transcend to be almost whatever it needed to be. There was always a legitimate 4 horsemen, because then you went to Flair, Arn, Tully, Barry Windham, which was a huge shocker to a lot of people. Arn, Tully, Flair, Sid Vicious. It was a
Steve
revolving.
McMichael,
It was a
Dean
revolving.
Malenko. I mean,
No, stop. Those guys were never real 4 horsemen.
Oh, no.
you don't think so?
Not Steve McMichael, or Dean Malenko never was, by the way. But
What about Chris Benoit?
yes, Chris Benoit was, and it was a revolving door of guys that were at the time established or upcoming to be the best in the business, and that's what it meant. And they dominated what a stable's supposed to do. They came in, beat up guys, and always stayed true to the 4. Man, there were guys that would trust them. Why? Why would you trust them? Sting, Dusty, you're going to trust these guys? They're going to turn on you next week. That's what they do. And it was beautiful to watch.
Tom, can you do a Dusty Rhodes impression?
It's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Great American Bash, 1984. It's the funky like a funky tour.
Oh, man. I love it. All right.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Much love to Dusty. Dusty was always one of my favorites, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right. So some honorable mentions that I don't think are on your lists, and if I name them and you're on your list, I'm sorry. The Blue World Order.
Oh.
They served their purpose. They did serve.
They did. Every iteration of it, everywhere he went, it followed him. Raven's Nest or Raven's Flock. Raven had a stable everywhere.
Sure.
He took it.
And combo of the two, Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards has done so much in stables. So
absolutely. The $1 Million Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
The Job Squad. Kai and Tai.
Pay me.
Yeah, Kai and Tai.
Indeed.
That's right. We kind of mentioned them, but the Nation of Domination were stable. They're big. The Radicals, we've talked about them on this show before. They didn't last very long.
But you know what? The difference between the stable and the initial impact of the Radicals, the night they showed up,
that was huge.
It changed
so
things.
Big.
It really did.
I had that on my list too.
All four of them just sitting in the front row.
Yeah, man.
The Oddities.
Wow.
PMS.
Ha!
One of Monroe's favorites.
Talk about Steven Richards, Right to Censor.
There it is.
And the Good Father too.
The Good Father, yeah. And Ivory.
And Val Venus. A redeemed Val Venus.
That's right. The offshoot of DX, X Factor. Yeah. See? Silence. Because it sucked.
No.
The Dangerous Alliance, which would have been the new Four Horsemen.
Hey, the Dangerous Alliance, there's a lot of talent in there. Austin, Pillman.
But yeah, you watch
William Regal, Bobby Eaton.
Watch the Heyman documentary, and that was meant to be the new Four Horsemen, led by Paul Heyman. The Diamond Exchange, back before DDP was a wrestler, he was a manager.
Yep, that's true.
We talked about the New World Order, then the Latino World Order.
Oh, sure.
And then the New Blood.
New Blood was a decent idea, just because that's what Russo was trying to do. He was trying to push the new guys versus the old guys. And it didn't work out well because it was Russo.
No. And then my last one that I'll mention, and I'll let you guys go again. The Nexus Light, the Core.
Oh, sure, yeah. Great theme song.
They didn't even spell it right.
No, I don't know what they were going for with that group. Corre. Like, what the hell? Just go back to being the Nexus again. Like, what is the matter with you? All right.
Nobody's using it.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's
using it. All right, my turn for legit ones. I'm going to pick, because you guys have named a lot of the ones I would have had on my list already. So I'm going to say, I gotta cross that one off. I will say, the Shield, it bucks the more than one person per title type thing. There's only 3 guys, but as far as factions go, they were great, together. I really enjoyed, and this is gonna get, she's not gonna like it, but the Straight Edge Society was a great group.
I agree.
When you talk about heel heat, brilliant.
I actually had that on my list.
Oh, wow.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
That was when I liked CM Punk. I've said it before. To me, that was his best stuff, and he went downhill from there. I always say that. I liked Punk then. I do have a Best in the World shirt. I'm not going to lie.
If you listen to his documentary, he had no plans of stopping that. They cut that short.
Yeah, it was really good. I loved it.
It was really good stuff. And I miss it. He thrived as the leader of that cult.
Well, he used to do at house shows. He would have people come in and shave their
heads.
I mean, that was the awesomeness of it, where these people were saying, "I want to be a member." It was a cult type following.
Yeah, it was really good. All right, Monroe, got any more?
I do. I just want to ask: did you guys see the table for 3 for The Godfather, Farouk, and
That was amazing.
Not yet. No.
I haven't
well,
watched
let me
it.
just
that
mention one. Yeah, it was very good. But let me just mention one part. They were talking about how much heat the group had and how much heat The Rock had.
Mm-hmm.
It was to a point where The Rock, when they would leave the arenas, The Rock would have to be in the trunk because the fans would attack the vehicle.
Wow.
And he also had to leave in ambulances because they knew they wouldn't attack an ambulance if they saw him in it. They would rent cars from rental places, and the fans would total them out trying to get to The Rock and trying to get to the Nation of Domination. That's how much heat they had on them. I mean, they did have "Die Rocky Die" signs, in the audience then. So, I mean, that's crazy heat right there.
Yeah.
I just thought that was very interesting. It was a very good table for three. I highly recommend it. John is absolutely right. It was great.
That's smart booking when they finally let The Rock just go full heel.
Yep.
When he wasn't getting over and they were booing him, and then they're like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Hey, Roman, how are you?
Exactly.
All right. So, for some reason, they like to call them a stable. I don't know why, but the Four Horsewomen will get a mention from me always and forever.
Which ones? The MMA ones, or?
No, the one that matter.
Okay. Whoa.
Also, I want to
I
mention
think I know what
LIJ.
she's talking about.
Zing.
LIJ in New Japan. John, know they are my favorite.
Can you say the full name?
I'm sorry?
Can you say their full name?
I always get because I put an L when it doesn't belong. Los Gobernables or something.
I can't say it, so.
That was pretty good.
Los Ignobernables de Japón.
Yeah,
Got it.
Japón, not Japan.
I had to read it.
Anyway.
Like, I had to look at it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to.
Oh, it was close enough.
But the main one I'm going to talk about is actually the Black Lotus Triad, which was a faction in Lucha Underground. And it involved Angela Fong, who was a wrestler there. And they brought in women from Stardom, which is a wrestling company in Japan. And those women include Io Shirai, Kairi Hojo, and Mayu Iwatani. 3 of the baddest women in wrestling. And they were in a faction together. Like, working together against other people. Like, really. They were not there for very long, which I don't like, but I'm sure it had to do with contract, whatever, timing, whatever. But the little time they were there, it was amazing. John, you've seen a little bit of it. I showed you the match between Io and Pentagon Jr., which was really good.
That was amazing. I want more of whatever that was.
Yeah, Io is just that good. You guys will see maybe when she gets in WWE, but I highly recommend her matches. She is that good.
That was the only
amazing.
Lucha Underground I ever enjoyed.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Io than Kairi, although Kairi is still very good, and Mayu Iwatani is just as good. I don't know much about Angela Fong. I don't watch Lucha. I'm not a fan. But them in all black and being just a badass group was just amazing. And I highly recommend you guys go and looking at their stuff. But yeah, the Black Lotus Triad was awesome in Lucha Underground.
Nice.
All right. John, you got any more to add?
Well, I was going to say Team Angle, because they're here on my list. But you know what? Fuck it, man. I gotta say.
Swear jar.
There goes that
swear jar.
There goes
I'm
that
sorry.
explicit rating.
Come on.
Boys and girls. Shield the children's ears. Bullet Club. If only for the reason that they have brought New Japan to American, I don't want to say prominence, but I guess prominence, because, I mean, they're the reason, at least, you know, they're a large part of the reason why so many fans right now are watching New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Absolutely.
I can't say that they're my reason. It's just not the reason I started watching New Japan. When I first saw New Japan, for me, it was Katsuyori Shibata. But I know a lot of friends that I have, and a lot of people I see online who attribute their watching New Japan to the Bullet Club. Not only that, but Bullet Club is helping to change what it means to be an independent pro wrestler. Guys like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, the Elite, what they're doing creatively and with their merchandising, the deals with Hot Topic, are allowing independent professional wrestlers to make a living without having to sign themselves away to WWE. And to me, that is almost as big of an effect as any other faction has had, because I think right now there are a lot more pro wrestlers who are really making a living than ever before. And that's great no matter what way you look at it, as a fan of New Japan or not. You know, the thing that everyone should hope for at the end of the day is for professional wrestling to be thriving. And I think right now one of the main reasons professional wrestling is thriving is because of the Bullet Club and because of the work that they've put in over the past couple of years.
Sure.
So
I'll agree with that.
that's that.
I will. I mean, everybody likes what's popular. So
All right.
and now with Hot Topic getting it, so these kids are going to think they know who these guys are. So yay. Hey.
Yeah, I sent out a tweet the other day that said Bullet Club shirts are about to be the new Nirvana shirts. Walk up to people, hey, what's the Bullet Club? I don't know. It looks cool.
Right. All right.
Money for it, so
Tom,
who knows?
you got any?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to go old school again, and a lot of people won't even know what I'm talking about, but I know my buddy Eric, he subscribes to this, and he's going to listen. Back in World Class Championship Wrestling.
Cheap pop right there for himself.
Based out of the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. My man Skandar Akbar used to run a stable called Devastation Incorporated. And there were so many people came running through that thing. Rick Rude, the Ultimate Warrior, before he was the Ultimate Warrior. He was the Dingo Warrior. Manny Fernandez. There was just so many. They just came through. One Man Gang.
Greg Valentine, Ted DiBiase. Yeah.
This Devastation Incorporated was just what it was. They just came in, and what their mission was to wreck the Von Erichs world. Mm-hmm. And every week you could watch it and see somebody gonna get jumped on. Eric Embry was one of the biggest ones. Eric Embry was like the definition of a jobber, but he was over with the crowd. He would get his ass beat every week by somebody. But at the same time, he'd come back the next week. And that usually was Devastation Incorporated, just because Skandar wanted to get him out of there and wanted to get the Von Erichs out of there. And that's one of the things I remember coming home from school and turning on my little black and white TV. Boom, 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 boom. Here it comes. Flash, hits, wrestling. Let me see. Devastation Incorporated, Samoa SWAT team. Somebody's going to get their ass whipped. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, I remember that group, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma, for that.
Much love, Grandma. Props.
All right. I think that's going to do it for that portion of our stable discussion. Does anybody else have more they want to talk about?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm good.
Then let's move on to dream booking our favorite stables.
Yeah.
She's super excited about it, so I'm going to start with her, Monroe.
What? Let's start with me?
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
Man, I got some random people in some stables, y'all.
Oh,
okay.
I got some.
I'm gonna go, in the past and current. I have. Well, I think one of the obvious ones for me would be for Sasha to be in the current Bullet Club. I think her as a heel would fit perfectly with those guys.
Oh yeah.
So I mean that was number one. I hurry up and jot that one down. I also have Sanity with the Broken Hardys, and also Rosemary, who's in TNA, or whatever it is now. And another one I have, and then we can move on because I do have more. We'll be here all day. Kyle O'Reilly, Zack Sabre Jr., Ring of Honor Daniel Bryan, and Becky Lynch.
Interesting.
I don't have names. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you don't have to name your faction. That's fine.
Yeah, but I have a few more, so you can go to somebody.
All right, Tom, what do you got?
Oh, I've got a lot too.
Oh boy.
I have my own Paul Heyman guys. Who I would have Paul Heyman managing. Okay, Brock's out of the way. Get him out of there. Now you bring in a tag team. Paul Heyman manages the Revival, of course, top guys with the top guy. And then a personal favorite of mine, loving TNA, Global Force, whatever, Davey Richards. Because I love what Davey Richards does. And to me, Davey Richards is a Paul Heyman guy. That would be the Paul Heyman guy. And a Paul Heyman girl, to me,
it's a 3-person group.
Monroe, cover your ears, would be Sasha Banks.
Really?
Yes, because she's the boss, and Paul Heyman would only want to work with the best.
I would see, for me, I think Becky would be the Paul Heyman girl.
I mean, I understand that, but it's Paul.
Give me Asuka or Nia Jax.
And I have a couple others, but we'll let it move around.
All right, John.
So, okay, so when I wrote these down, my thought was, I don't know what I was doing with them. I just thought, like, trying to avoid the obvious connections between them. So I wanted to kind of get abstract with it. So some of the ones I have written down are Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Juice Robinson, and Bayley. So like a real white meat babyface, good guy group. And then I've got Samoa Joe, Minoru Suzuki, Pete Dunne, and Asuka all in a state.
Oh, wow. That's pain, right?
Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yes.
She gets it.
Oh my gosh. Love that.
I got one Okada, AJ Styles, Sonata, and Charlotte. Kind of like an LIJ, but like more like, flashy money, like that kind of look, wearing suits and shit like that. And then there's like the rebellious faction, which would be Tetsuya Naito, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Sasha Banks.
Wow, John. I love it.
I like all those groups.
Yeah. Love it.
And I do actually have one that's kind of like more past. It's DDP, HBK, and Edge and Christian from the 90s.
Oh, I like that one a lot.
Wow.
HBK and Edge and Christian, dude.
Yeah, imagine that, man.
That would be pretty rad.
Yeah,
all right, Monroe, what else do you have?
Ooh, I have Ricochet, Sasha Banks, Neville, and a young HBK as a heel, high-flying dive type group.
Dive. That one's good.
Dive. And I have, John, this is for you, Jay White, Asuka, Tomohiro Ishii, and Matt Riddle.
Ooh.
As a type of striker, whatever you want to call it.
I dig it. Like an MMA. I like it.
I have 3 more, and I'll just get through them all. Hiromu Takahashi, Minoru Suzuki, Dean Ambrose, and Ruby Riott.
Ooh, kind of like some craziness.
Crazy,
canon shit.
Off the
exactly.
hinge.
You see where I'm going. You see it. I couldn't think of anybody else to put with these 3 people, so I'm just leaving it at 3. And that's Cody, as in Cody Rhodes, Charlotte, and a heel Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
And the last one, and I don't know if you guys know this guy. He's from Lucha. He's Drago.
Yeah.
But he looks like this demon with wings or whatever.
Yeah.
He's on Global Force now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Him with LIJ, which is the Lost Global John. You know what I'm talking about.
Nailed it.
And Drago, LIJ, and Ember Moon.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Cool.
All right, Tom, do you have more?
Very cool.
I do, and you, Dave, I write my own little side fed, and this is a legit one. Triple H has his own group.
Tom does fantasy booking on his side, on his own.
I do. It's just for fun.
We all do.
This is
absolutely. I have a game that simulates factions and shit.
Yes.
My new authority. You may agree, you won't agree, but it's combined everybody in the world. It is Triple H's group. I have Bobby Roode, The Revival, Eli Drake from TNA, Pete Dunne, Neville, or Tony Nese. I'm kind of torn between the two who I want to have this join this group.
Tony Nese.
And either Sasha or Alexa. I'm torn because it's a Triple H thing. So I was leaning towards Tony Nese, yes, because he's swole, and that's what Triple H likes. So
And me too.
AZ.
I'm sorry.
And Alexa because she's my opportunity, rest my soul. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Wow to that.
That's my vision of my kind of authority, because and what I listed it as was a world title, tag title, U.S. title. Bring back the TV title, please. Mm-hmm. X Division and women's.
Very nice.
Tom, have you ever heard of the game Extreme Wrestling Revenge?
I don't believe I have.
Oh, dude, check it out. It's like a computer game you can get where you can be the GM of any company, sign whoever you want. It's pretty fun, and you can like have matches, book week to week stuff. It's pretty fun.
It's
I like
very,
the book.
very detailed. You
right.
can even like create your own company, right, too, John? Or you can use one of the created companies already, like WWE or TNA or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I shall check that out.
All right, John, you got any others?
No. Ran through all of them.
All right. I'm going to give you one that's going to blow your minds.
Uh-oh.
Let's hear it.
I have others, but this is one just came to my mind as we were talking. Okay. So you have Bayley, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and you switch between either one of these two tag teams. I'd probably lean more towards option B than A because they're more the baby faces than edgier. Either the New Day or Hardys. I think I'm leaning towards the Hardys though because they're more baby face than edgy. So now you've got the top baby faces, right? These are the everyone loves us group.
Yeah, I had the same thing going on. Yeah.
This is a heel faction led by CM Punk. Oh!
That one came out of nowhere.
Nice.
CM Punk gets in their brains. And then dance, puppets, dance!
It only takes the tendrils getting in.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's those fantasy booker things. I don't know if the one I was playing is the same one you were talking about. This is like way back in the day, Attitude Era style on a Windows computer.
No, it's an old school game just like that.
I do my own right there on the WordPad.
There is a Steam app called Fire Wrestling or something like that. It's pretty popular for YouTube gamers right now. Fire Pro Wrestling World. I don't like it, but it is similar to that. You just do fantasy booking and you can put whatever you want in there, and they do simulated matches and stuff. If I'm going to do that, I'm just going to do it on WWE 2K whatever and just use, universe created stuff.
Dave actually knows about it because we've talked about it, and I'm pretty proud of what I do. So,
yes, he talks about it a lot.
It's okay, Tom. We all do that.
But it's weird. A lot of stuff I have done has happened. So, yeah.
I don't know why.
Who's getting into your notes, man?
Vince is hacked into my computer, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, all right. So
He's hacking in, man.
Send us your favorite stables, factions on Facebook, on Twitter. Let us know your dream bookings. Who would you put in a stable or faction? Or comment on YouTube when this one goes up on YouTube. Let us know who you would do if you agree, if you like any of our stables. Or you could name our stables. So pick a name for any of the stables that we listed off today. That'd be kind of fun too. And maybe one of these days they'll find their way into a fantasy match or two, or booking, or on a 2K game, or we'll figure something out to do on the YouTube. But yeah. All right, that's going to be our show this week. Tom, if people want to talk to you on the Twitter, and you were very vocal, at least on Tuesday on Twitter, how can they do so?
That's skids_world.
Okay. John, if you're on social media as well, please tell the fine folks how to find you.
I am on Instagram and on Twitter at xjohnneve, and on Twitter, if you want, you can just search Maeve Deltzer, my alter ego.
That's right. The king of keyboard strong style. And then Monroe.
I am on Twitter at @EoftheS_ENT. And I also have a YouTube page, and I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. And that is Eye of the Storm Entertainment.
Nice. What are you going to be streaming?
Make it clear what tomorrow is. What day?
Oh, sorry. It is Friday.
There you go.
What are you going to be streaming?
I think the new character for Overwatch just came out. If not that, then a new Warframe for Warframe.
Cool.
There you go. All right, and of course, we are Ringside Geeks on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe. You never know when we're going to pop up on YouTube doing a stream of a pay-per-view. We will not be streaming the pay-per-view, so get that out of your head right away. And yeah, you can just hang out in the chat and watch the pay-per-view with us as we react. We'll try to make it a little more entertaining than we have, but it's been fun so far. Just be respectful to each other in the chat, of course, and just have a good time. That's all we're there to do, is talk wrestling and have fun. I think Battleground was a lot of fun, and even though the show sucked, we had a good time. So yeah, we'll keep doing that for pay-per-views and maybe some New Japan events. We'll see. We'll probably record those since they're so early. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But any big events that happen on a regular weekly show, we might try to do. Yeah, that's it. That's our show this week. Thanks so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, please leave us a review on the iTunes. That helps us out. Gets us out there. Because, I mean, there's only like 17,000 wrestling podcasts. So, help us out, y'all. All right.
Oh.
That's our show this week. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Go Cubs, go.
You suck.